I just put 1K to match betting. My bankroll now for match betting would be around 60K, I would say. My last month of November was 19,000. Let's say my whole 3 years of doing this, I'd say for 2.5, it was my main source of income from match betting. At that point, I just knew it worked. I had so much trust in you guys that whatever you guys were releasing, I just had to be a part of. To be honest, the system's done a lot more for me than just money. So able to move to Melbourne by myself this year and just give me a lot of freedom in my life to be able to treat the people that are close to me as well, like family. Help me a lot think long term and think that things get better over time if you just keep putting in the effort. You learn a lot more than just how to make money.
Welcome everybody. This is QTempo. How much money have you made? You don't know.
I made
over 100K.
around over 100K. So
now, for context, I think you've been in the community now for 2.5 years or so. You've obviously made over 100K. The bulk of that has come within the last 6 months since you've obviously compounded things. But I want this to be more about you reflecting on how you started and ultimately trying to remember back to all of the things when you started. So I'm going to prompt you now. So firstly, welcome everyone. This is obviously QTempo, as we said, he's made 100K. So I want to ask you a question. How did you start this all? Like, what happened? What's the story there?
Basically, found you guys on TikTok, found the system on TikTok. So I thought it'd be silly not to try it. Initially discovered turning bonuses over. So yeah, I pretty much started with just opening bookies and kind of learning how to make risk-free cash from bonus turnover, really.
Yeah, sick. And how much money did you start with? Because how old are you? You're 21, 22?
I'm 22 now, but I found you guys when I was 18 towards being 19.
Yeah.
I started with, just for a bit more context, I had like 2K to my name all up. I didn't have much. I mean, it might be a lot to some people, but I had $2,000 all up, and basically I just put 1K to match betting.
Yeah.
So
yeah, cool. Nice. And how has that been able to build up? Like, what is your bankroll now for context?
Well, how it's been able to build up is just repetition, I guess. So obviously after quickly realizing it works, I've opened more accounts, therefore made more money, therefore I've got more money to play with. So unit sizes have gotten higher over time. Leveraged off other people over time as well to get better. So my bankroll now for match betting would be around 60K, I would say. So a lot more now, and that gives me the ability to make a lot more. Obviously.
Nice. Yeah, sick. So you started with 2K, made over 100. It's taken you, 2.5 years?
Yeah, so I don't know. When I found out that it worked and I probably made my first couple $100, I was just like, damn. It was like an addiction at first. I was like, wow, I just want to keep making more and more. And then the Platinum Squad was just like a extra step to that. So that kind of pushed things even further for me.
Yeah. So the next question I had was, in that let's focus on the first 12 months. Do you remember definitively what you did in each of those kind of brackets of quarterly months, like month 3, end of month 6, end of month 12, like end of month 24? Let's just focus first 3 months. I know you touched on it already. You started signing up the bookies, but in your first 3 months, I know it's a little bit different to what it is now, but what were your main focuses, especially with only $2,000?
Well, straight away, it was just like clicking in your head that it worked. And by doing that, it was just making money. So turning bonuses over, and by like the way to turn bonuses over at that time was first deposit bonuses for me. So that was opening new accounts. So basically when I got a deposit offer, turned it over, it would be, okay, what's the next bookie that I can open? So basically I was just putting in bet in the app store and downloading any bookie I could, getting deposit offer, and it just like the money just kept stacking up pretty much.
Yeah.
So the first 3 months, it was all about that, really. It was just building bankroll. Of course, at the time, I didn't have the thought of, yeah, this is going to keep compounding over time because I was brand new to it. I was just kind of figuring out that it was working. So yeah, that was pretty much the first thing I did was just open accounts, turn the money over, make sure it works. And then probably after a month or two is when I got into the system. I don't know if you want to touch on that yet. But
Yeah.
yeah.
So okay. So you were depositing prior to even joining us. Then you joined Horse System. What unit size did you start on with that?
Started on 10.
Yeah.
Just because it was what was kind of, I don't know, preached, I guess, to start low. It was the correct unit size compared to my bankroll for match betting as well. So yeah, started on 10.
Yeah, nice. And do you remember when that increased? Was it end of month 1, end of month 3? No idea. How long did you stay on that $10 unit size? And maybe did you get, obviously you didn't have the hindsight now of knowing how much you were going to make, but were you satisfied with making, I don't know, 200 a month, 300 a month just from Horse System?
Well, for context, it's like previously when I would bet, it would be I had a $5 deposit limit a week. So
Yep.
if I made $25 on a same game multi in the footy, I was stoked. So seeing your guys' results, seeing 30 units a month on average was like, okay, if I'm on the like noob unit size, I guess you could say, like the basic beginner unit size, and I'm making 10 times 30, so 300 a month. Well, that's genuinely crazy when I've only got 2K to my name. So at the time I was like, yeah, that's unreal. Like it was great money at the time.
Yeah. And like Tom's asked in the chat, do you remember what happened end of month 6 or sort of between month 3 and 6? Or you did anything different from going to 10? Like what happened after that?
Well, basically, to also answer your last question with how long was I on 10 for, I was probably on 10 unit size where I would say 2.5 to 3 months. And then that 3-month period was where I was like, okay, I've made all my money from the sign-ups, which, you know, at the time is a free $2,000 or $3,000, depending how you're going, which gave me the ability to jump to 20. And of course, that just doubled everything. So that made me a lot more profit. But I could only do that because of the $10 unit size at the beginning and building up with the, like, I don't know, kind of like the gym, I guess, like use the lower weight and then I was able to do the higher weight a bit later, if that makes sense. So that's what happened around 3 months. And then 6 months, yeah, I really took small steps compared to a lot of people, but I think I went to 30. And then when I went to 30 after 6 months is like, went to 40 and then 50 a bit after that, but it was still quite a while.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. And when you moved up those unit sizes, let's just say from 10 to 20 to 30 and then to 50, did you feel like there was more of a light bulb moment or a period where you're like, wow, this can actually make me a lot more money, or what?
Yeah, of course. I mean, the light bulb moment was within the first week of doing the free course, but I mean, over time, you have more light bulb moments. It's just like the way I'd always think of things is like 30 units a month. So whatever my unit size is, it's times that. But you've got to like be able to support yourself. Like the system can go minus 10 in a day. So your bankroll is going to be able to support that. But I just always knew that at the end of the month, you were going to be up. So it didn't matter, if that makes sense. So I can't really remember an exact light bulb moment, but I just have them all the time, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, nice. I mean,
Yeah.
going through the period that you signed up, obviously the average profit is quite similar now. In terms of we've had 3 losing months or 2 losing months, I can't remember. But obviously it's fully irrelevant that the graph is just linear. I mean, that's just variance coming out. How did you deal with that? Because obviously, I mean, we don't talk about this anymore. Days, weeks, months have been deleted from the vocabulary of anyone that's following the horse system for the reason of if you focus on a day, a week, a month, it allows you to then get attached to the result of a day, a week, a month, which is not how this thing works, right? The quicker you can understand that, the more likely you are to succeed. And if you're unnecessarily wasting time and energy worrying about that, you obviously can redirect your energy into something else. So for you, did you ever get angry, pissed off? Did you ever act emotionally? Or what was your experience? For example, if you ever had, I don't know, a losing month or week or day, even though you knew if the graph's going up, it's just a little fluctuation. How did you feel?
Okay, well, I know it's just funny you asked that because I was probably someone that got super emotional. Like I'd get angry in Discord, like if I had a losing day more so. And I know, as you said, it's not about days, weeks, or months, at all. But my story is that that's something I cared about a lot at the beginning, especially going from someone that was on a, $5 deposit limit a week to, I don't know, losing money some days because the system lost that day. So of course I'd feel emotional. But the thing at that time, because I wasn't as advanced mentally or like had the psychology of like a month doesn't matter. But at that time, the thing that got me through was if I just keep doing it, I'll be fine. So basically that meant that I never really acted on my emotion. Like, yeah, I'd say words. I'd get pissed off. I get pissed off at you even sometimes probably, but yeah, I just kept doing it. But I think it's definitely normal for a beginner to feel emotional, but it literally just comes down to being stronger, like being strong mentally to just push past and keep going and realize you wouldn't start doing this if you didn't think it would work. And there's so much proof in the community that it works. So yeah.
Did you see what Tom just wrote?
You were a massive sook. Well, yeah, I was pretty bad. Like I would literally every single system day, I would go on my calculator and, count profit or, and that sort of thing. I'd always be pissed off if we had any kind of losing day. But the other thing I'll say is you never, ever, ever, like I can't even bring up a date of a losing day. Like I don't know, 28th of April. Like I have no idea. Like at that time I was so pissed off, but literally, I don't know, it just deletes itself from your memory in about a week or 2 weeks. Like, yeah, I was so angry on a $20 unit size. And then 3 years later, I don't know, hopefully it shows proof to people that if you just stay, then it does pay off, but you've got to be strong mentally. So, yeah.
Yeah. And when you say you're a sook, so you're confirming you never ever, I don't know, gambled a bonus, doubled your unit size, chased, nothing like that, or you did have anything like that?
Yes, but it was more like a psychology thing that's like thing in my head. It was like, oh, I will put this bonus on a multi, but I'm doing it for sustainability, where actually it probably wasn't the right thing to do. So of course I had those moments, but it was never anything where it was like really bad or I was doubling down, like never really chased. And that's also probably because I never had that when I like would do betting before match betting. So yeah.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, cool. And for context, obviously you work through 10, 20, 30, 50. What are you following now? What's your unit size now?
My unit size on horse system is 200 now.
Nice. And how long have you been doing that?
Oh, I would say nearly all of this year actually.
Yeah, nice. How much do you reckon, I know you don't know this figure, but how much do you reckon the horse system alone has made you?
All time?
Yeah.
60 or 70,000. Because
Yeah.
for, let's say my whole 3 years of doing this, I'd say for 2.5, it was my main source of income from match betting. Like there's different ways to make money in match betting, and horse system was my main one for 2.5 years. So yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this was my next question. So because you were so early, right? You were 2021, I think.
Yep.
So
yeah, early 2021. It was March, yeah, or February.
Yeah. Well, yeah, 3 and a bit years then maybe. Maybe it was 2022. I don't know. It's one of those years. Maybe I reckon it's 22 or nah. 2.5 years to now is 2022. Otherwise, it'd be
Anyway,
3.5. Point is, we didn't have a sports system until last year, right? So for a lot of people, all they made money from was the horse system and or deposit bonuses, and obviously now we've branched out the ability to make profit off the other systems.
yeah.
When were you someone who joined sport straight away, or were you not in that first?
So yeah, I joined pretty early. I think it was first 50 or something. So at that point in time, I don't know how long I'd be doing horse system, but definitely over 6 months. That point, I just knew it worked. I had so much trust in you guys that whatever you guys were releasing, I just had to be a part of. Like it was free, and it was like the subscription cost was nearly a joke. Like as in, I knew that subscription was going to be made back, that cost. So yeah, I joined relatively early because I knew I wanted to be a part of it, but I'm not going to lie and say that I wasn't like, oh shit, it costs this. Can I say how much it costs or not?
Yeah, so
I think at the time it was $1,000.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah. 999
so
for the first winter sports surf. That's just for winter, yeah.
Yeah, so at the time it was like $1,000. I was like, oh shit, it's freaking $1,000. And like, I was still so hesitant, but because of all my work that I had like done previously with making money from the horse system, bonuses, I just had so much belief that it was like I had to join. It was just missing out on free money basically. And also saved me a lot of time. Like I didn't have to do anything other than place the bet. So I just knew it was something I had to be a part of. But also it was the same as always at the beginning. It was a mental challenge to get over the cost. So I understand when people have like that thing in their head of, oh, the cost, but from someone that paid that, like it's something you just have to do. It's hard to explain, but yeah, you gotta take the risk to, make the money.
Yeah, I mean, there doesn't seem to be much of a risk, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
Well, no. Yeah, I know what I mean.
All good. Reflecting back on your first 12 months, what advice would you have for people who are just starting, if you had to give some advice?
Just take all the opportunities that's there. So take all the sign up offers that are available to you, then like first deposit bonuses, or just make sure you set up your big accounts properly. Like, because you can keep a sports bet, you can keep a tab for so long, you can keep so many of your accounts for years and years. So just don't get too greedy to begin with. Like, have the light bulb moment of, yes, this works, this is awesome, I can't wait to do this more, but still, like, just think, yeah, this is awesome right now, but it could be awesome in 3 years, like myself, and you can make it like X amount of money. So also think long term, and you got to look after your accounts because they're the exact thing that make you money. So yeah, I'd say look after your accounts. Also start small on a unit size because that helps with you emotionally if you're someone that is going to be emotional. And I don't know, just realize it's an investment. It's not a slot machine where you're going to hopefully get one time and win it. Like, it takes time. So yeah.
Yeah, nice. No, good advice. What about your biggest challenge in your first 3 months? If you can think back, was there anything that stands out, or even any challenge along the way?
Oh, okay. Yeah, one of my main challenges was because I didn't have much money to my name and I knew it worked. I was getting the sign up offers. Whenever an account would blow up, it would be like, oh shit, I've got to withdraw. And that might mean the account could get banned. So that was hard, but sometimes you just have to do it. But also that's why the Discord was great at the time, because in Platinum I was able to, get advice from other people of, yeah, you can withdraw this amount and you should be okay, or do these mug bets and then you can withdraw a little bit, or like the community helped a lot as well. So that's why getting help from other people was so good instead of me just trying to do it by myself. But that definitely saved the longevity of some accounts for sure.
Yeah, nice. Now, does anyone have? I think we've covered most of the stuff here. Obviously, you've progressed nicely through the community. Obviously, you're working with Lenny now, so that's why you have compounded what you've built. I think you sent me a screenshot before, rubbing it in a bit, where you made like 58K since, or 60K since June or something, and that includes a 6-week overseas trip to Europe. So yeah, you're doing well. So I guess your profit tally at the moment, even though you reckon it's about a little bit over 100, I dare say that is moving up a lot faster than it took you in your first 2 years. How does that feel now, knowing that? Because I want to find, there's someone in the Discord today put something in the side hustles chat. I'm going to reply to it later. He basically said, I'm going to do another side hustle, one that I enjoy. I'm basically throwing in the towel in. And my first thought was like, that guy hasn't allowed himself to compound what match betting is. And it is very easy in the first 6 months to be like, oh, fuck this. I'm only making, 200, 500 a month or whatever. Obviously now there's a lot more signups regarding the bookie list and stuff that's encouraged, which is good. That gives you a bit of momentum and confidence. But a lot of people stop between months 3 and 6, and then they don't allow themselves to get to month 12 and 24. The best part's coming now for you, and you're 30 months in. So now you're doubling. Your hourly rate would have started off at maybe, I don't know, $10 an hour. And now it's probably, I don't want to put a number on it. Maybe it's 100 to 200 an hour, maybe more. Like, you joked to me when you went to overseas to Europe, you sent me a Telegram message maybe 2-3 months ago, because you went in, I don't know, August, and you're like, I came back with Europe with more money in my account than I left.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I did.
Yeah. How did you do that?
Well, basically it's just like joining the mentorship that was able to give me more methods. So as I said, always was doing sports system, and then sports system came along, so I knew you had to be a part of it. So mentorship was another thing to get into, and then I just found more ways to make money, basically, which again, because it was the mentorship community, one-on-one help, I wasn't doing it by myself. I was able to find ways to make money in shorter amount of time. So literally would make a couple K while I was on the freaking bus going to a different country. So that was pretty good. And like, yeah, it's just, I can't even speak highly enough of it. Like, it's unreal. Like, I literally went to Europe and I came back with the same amount of money. Nice, if not more. So yeah,
cool story. I heard you're moving to Melbourne. You're trying to get a place in the team, but we're not giving you one at the moment, so you're gonna keep trying.
Yeah, I'll keep trying.
All good. That's honestly very well spoken. I didn't know, we didn't rehearse anything. I sent you some questions before. Didn't know what you're gonna say. So I mean, Tom's already put in there very well spoken, and we plan to get you on a proper pod when you come to Melbourne. So good work. I'm sure you've now inspired everyone in this chat and given them a bit to work on. Obviously, living proof of someone, not the highest earner in the community, but definitely someone who's been rewarded for patience, putting the fundamentals and laying the foundations in from day one, getting your mindset right, sticking at something for a period of longer than 12 months is the key, I think, here. Yeah. And honestly, it's so easy when you look at it like that, because it's actually harder to not get to where you are if you do it for 2.5 years. It's actually harder to not get there than to get there, because you can't not get there. It seems so logical once you see it now because you've done it. But for people sitting in month 1 or week 2 or week 4, it's like, ooh, fuck, is this worth it? Not sure. But you just got to do it and have faith, and having people like you that can say, hey, I did it. And I don't know, you're not the smartest tool in the shed. You're not dumb at the same time. You're just an average Joe, like all of us. It's like, just get it done, get the reps, and the results take care of themselves. So good work.
Yeah. I'd also just quickly say, of course, not everyone's going to do it for 3 years.
Yeah, of course.
To the new people, but not everyone does do it. There's people that have come and left, of course. But all I'd say is just don't be ignorant enough to not try it at all. At least if you're looking, give it a go. Do you know what I mean? And give it a go means 3 months minimum, I would say. So, and if you don't have a light bulb moment of, oh, I've made money, which you will, it's just like, I don't know. I just think you're silly not to do it, to be honest, once you've tried it. Um, would you have quit your job and, oh, well, yeah, this is the other thing. So if you go back to the beginning of when I spoke, I'm just answering Tom's question. Had
So
2K
well,
to
I
my,
know the question. Would you have quit your job and moved to Melbourne if you didn't do match betting?
yeah. Okay. So as I said before, I had 2K to my name. I was 18, 19, fucking crashed my car in a car park. Only had third party insurance because it was my L plate car, but I was on my P's. 2 weeks after my P's, crashed in the car park, paid 1K, and had 1K to my name again. And then now built up to over 100, gone to Europe, paid for itself this year, able to move to Melbourne by myself this year, and just give me a lot of freedom in my life to be able to treat the people that are close to me as well, like family. And just, yeah, like, to be honest, the system's done a lot more for me than just money. So, helped me a lot think long term and think that things get better over time if you just keep putting in the effort. Same with the gym this year for me. So the system's definitely, you know, worth the, I don't know, not the cost, but it's worth the effort. You learn a lot more than just how to make money. So yeah.
Yeah, nice. Well said. You got any flexes for the gym or nah?
Give me another 6 months.
Yeah, no worries. All good. Nah, that's really well said. We appreciate. Obviously, we're not expecting you to say anything, but that's your reflection of it, and it does change your life if you just cutting onions.
Someone said who's got 9 hits.
But yeah, no, this stuff is so. It's not the system. It's the way of life. It's getting your habits right. It's mindset, positive, stacking everything on top of each other. That's just what we have worked out, and then we want to preach that to you guys and girls and whoever wants to do it. Ultimately, if you do that, it's a formula to getting better and growing and winning. And if more people do it, and you surround yourself with more people on that same trajectory, it's a cheat code to getting better at everything in life. It's like with anyone, if you stack all this good shit starts to happen in all aspects of your life, whether it's your job, whether it's your gym, whether it's your health, whether it's your fitness, whether it's everything else. And then when people do the opposite and they're in a shit place, they lose their job, they lose their misses, they lose money. It's all the same. It's all linked. It's not you got unlucky. It's just a way of your actions determine your outcomes.
So it's like, don't do push-ups once like for 1 day in a year. Do push-ups every day in a year. Or don't be nice to people for 1 day in a year and expect everything good. Be nice to people every day. Do you know what I mean? Like, it just everything just stacks up once you keep doing it.
No, good work. Appreciate you coming on. Does anybody have any questions? We said we'd get it done in under 30 minutes, so we're literally on the 30-minute timer for you. So you've actually stayed back. What did you do? Stay back at the beach or something and filming this in your car?
Yeah, I'm in the car at the beach. Gonna have a swims. Just get the rig out.
You going now or?
No, I can go whenever.
All good. What's Tom written? If you can get 1% better each day for 1 year, you'll end up 37 times better by the time you're done. Yeah.
Yeah, good for me, Bears, Woody.
Well done, Big Q. Sam Fossil says. Does anyone have any questions for the Big Q man, Kid Quinton, before he goes? That's your name, isn't it, Quinton?
Not really, no. Not quite. Yeah, ask me any questions. Surely one.
Single? Taken? One, let's go there.
Middle of that. Whatever the middle of the road is. The Q stick.
Do you know who that is or not?
Who's Stephen?
No, the Q stick.
No, who's that?
Big Quinton. Big boom in the right leg. 55 meters. Have a shot.
I was thinking Lynch with the old glove. He fucking roosted him.
Tom will love it.
How do I grow a mow like yours, bro? Takes time, just like the system. Takes time. Not going to get a mow overnight. What are your goals over the next 6-12 months? Just to keep making more, really.
Fuck, I deleted it.
To make my goals are to make more in different areas. So there's a few areas learned like taught in the mentorship where I haven't made much from, so I want to try them. My best mate has also started match betting, and he's at the absolute beginning. So I've been doing it with him pretty much, every Saturday, and then also on the phone, I'm messaging him every day. So it's been awesome. That's given me a lot of boost to keep going, which is another thing. You've got to keep finding like a boost for yourself in match betting. Like, what's your next boost, or what's gonna like keep pushing you to make it more exciting? It's like a relationship with a girl, I guess. Like, you've got to mix it up. You got to try new things. You got to keep it, spicy. JP knows what I'm saying.
Fuck. I reckon leave the dating advice to someone else.
Okay. Any more questions?
I've marked a few. I accidentally deleted one. It said, "What are your goals?" But we already answered it. So, Michael asks, how many bookie accounts are ideal to start with? Now, you can answer that if you want.
Or
what would your advice be if someone's starting out?
To start the horse system, I mean, if you have at least 10 bookies, you can do it, but you've got to make sure you don't want to just keep those accounts for 3 weeks. You want to keep them for years plus. So, I mean, you can have 10 bookies, but you've got to have them ready to go.
Yeah, I'll add on to that as well, Michael. With regards to that question, this depends on your bankroll. So if you have $5,000 allocated to match betting, old mate's left the room. Hopefully he can come back, but he was awesome anyway if he doesn't. If you have $5,000, right, you can use the bookie list, and your aim should be to open up as many as you can with that 5K allocation of your bankroll. Now, a reminder, your 5K allocation is taken away from your life funds. It is not money you need to buy nappies with, pay rent with, pay your mortgage with. It's separated and left alone in your match betting bank. From there, you should just go out there and take as many bookies as you can with that allocation of your bankroll. What that allows you to do is, one, take the bonus bets that you're going to get when you sign up, but secondly, to also allow yourself to get more promotional coverage. So like QTempo said, with the horse system, you want to have, minimum 10, but realistically, you're not going to be able to keep following the horse system with just 10 bookies, because you'll get a promo list one period where it won't actually have the promos that you're after. So more bookies you have open, not only we get more bonuses, but the more promos you have coverage on. And then obviously that increases your defense and sustainability, because if you're using less bookies using less promos per bookie on average, if you have 30 bookies, you're using 30 promos in a week, you're averaging 1 promo per bookie. If you have 10 bookies, you're using 30 promos in a week, you're averaging 3 per bookie, which ultimately, use more promos, increased chance of being banned. So in terms of how many, there's no ideal number. The more the merrier. But thirdly, when you start opening up more of these accounts, you'll start getting offers when these accounts become inactive. So you might turn over a bonus or two-way Dutch or Betfair back and lay, and whatever you're doing, it ends up being zero, that account, just by however it happens. Some accounts are going to blow up and get heaps of profit in them. Some accounts are going to end up at zero. The ones who end up at zero, not that you should chase this, you might get a secondary offer that comes through and you are in a position where you can keep making profit. Did that help, Michael, by the way, or no? Next question is, what's your trick? This one's for you, QTempo, because you probably have a better idea than me personally, because I haven't been signing up to a lot of bookies lately. What's your trick for getting sign-up bonuses when they are all being stingy? Do you sign up first and wait? Like, what do you do? What's your...
I kind of know what they all do now just from the community, but basically sign up and wait. Sometimes with some bookies, I'll be honest, I don't even wait. I just kind of ask them straight away. But the main thing is, you've just got to sound like a degen, like sound like you want to just lose it all, I guess, but you're not actually. So
yeah, nice. Some good comments in the chat. How many accounts are you regularly using now?
I'm not sure on the actual number of accounts, but for example, if you have one set of account, I have about 5 of them.
Okay, Nice.
Yeah.
So Brandy said he's got 2 reload offers today. Free money. Nice.
That's
All right. Question and answer. There's another one here. Good question from I don't know if I'm saying this right. I assume that is Herman, not German. That is a Spanish pronunciation. Sorry for all the Spanish people if I said that wrong. If you choose to start getting your accounts other than Betfair, would you do this in December or January? That question there is irrelevant. I would personally get the accounts open as soon as you can, assuming your bankroll is good. Do not wait to open an account. You're not going to get anything better if it's in January or December. You have no control over that. So definitely, if you have bankroll, start opening accounts on that bookie list and start farming those deposit offers, signing them up, priming them, etc., etc. That's going to be super helpful for you. So yeah, good question. If anyone else wants to chat about that as well in terms of what their experience is, but yeah, Tom's got a good question. Do you think there are things in life you now believe are achievable that the 18-year-old version of you didn't think were achievable? So,
yeah. In terms of,
well, just think back to when you were 18. Were there things out there that you thought were impossible, and now you're 22 that you think are achievable?
oh well, financial, like money wise, it was like I would see on Instagram reels like drop shipping make 15K in a month, and I think $15,000 in a month, like that's genuinely like that's fucked. Like you can't do that. Like that's just that's ridiculous. Like to make any sort of money like that in a month. But yeah, after doing match betting, I don't know. It's like sometimes it's not even real to me. It's like it's not that I'm lucky because I put in the work for it, but it's just like wow. Do you know what I mean?
Well, was your monthly profit? You texted me the other day. What did you make last month? Not that we care about months, but we'll obviously track it.
My last month of November was 19,000.
Yeah, nice. Is that a PB?
Yeah.
Nice. I mean, it is pretty cool to have that kind of money at your age.
And also, this is someone that works a 9 to 5 every day as well. So, next year I'm moving to Melbourne, as you guys probably heard. So, gonna have a lot more free time. So, more time to put into it. So, hopefully, make more money.
What's the why has it taken you so long to quit that? Do you want to share with everyone what I've been telling you to do with that for the past 6 months, maybe longer, 9 months?
Basically, JP's been telling me to quit my job just because, I mean, I've been earning the same amount of money every hour, every day with that job. So there's no compounding with that. So that's what I think JP's thinking. Something I also know myself, but I have struggled to pull the trigger on that for other reasons. Like, I don't know, I'm only relatively young still. So like my parents, they don't want me to, they don't want me to not be successful. So like successful for them, because it's all they've known for 40 plus years is you work every day or work as much as you can. So they don't understand that there's things that you can do where you can multiply over time, like match betting.
Yeah, interesting. Have you had those chats with them? I think you have now with your dad. What about your mum?
Yeah.
Is your dad the main one that's still skeptical, or your mum?
Yes, I told mum about match betting early. I told dad only about a month or two ago. So yeah, like it just depends. Like with parents, like my dad's old fashioned, for example, so it was kind of harder to tell him. And it took me like 3 years to be able to do that. So it like I only told him now in the 3rd year because I know that it's something I could legitimately live off. It's not something I want to do forever. No, like I want to do other things that, give me purpose, fulfill my day. But, yeah.
I'll make a prediction. I think you quit your job on when do you quit? Jan something? 18 or something?
I finished my job on the 19th of December.
Oh, December. Okay, cool. So in 14 days, you're going to have no job, no commitment. So you gain 40 hours a week plus travel.
Yeah.
I'll make a prediction that when you come to Melbourne and obviously you get a bit more involved, potentially you might, I don't know, come in for a session with Lenny rather than being via correspondence, things like that. Your level will go to another level because you have so much more time and energy. But you might not actually know or appreciate this yet because you have only known that. But I guarantee you, your level of whatever you do will be so much greater because you now have so much time left and energy to reallocate into other stuff. So I look forward to seeing where that actually takes you.
Thank you.
Yeah, cool. I mean, there's heaps of questions here. Tom's like, at the end of the day, your parents want you to be successful and happy. You just have to have the conversation with them and explain to them, this is who you are, what you do, and where you want to go. I mean, spot on. I think there was a quote yesterday. Layla Hormozi said it. She said, if you don't want to have I'm going to butcher this. If you don't have the hard conversations, imagine what it's like when you don't have the hard conversations, because it's a lot worse in the end. And obviously, you've taken 3 years. It's not the worst thing to deal with. But if imagine you waited 6 years to tell your dad, like, might be better, but because you made more money. But reality is, you could have just got rid of that earlier on and got that monkey off the back and that burden off your chest. So yeah, the quicker you have those tough conversations, the better it's going to be. Cool. There's a few more questions. Zach asked what your unit size is. I think you already answered that. You're on $200 for horse. What are you on for sport?
Yeah. So mentorship is 200 too. Yeah. Sports.
Yes. Are you following Mentor Sports?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Aside from signing up to the horse and sport system, what would your advice be on how to most efficiently build up enough bankroll to get to mentorship? I can answer that. Yeah. I mean, Sam, that one varies based on who you are, where you're currently at, what bankroll you have. For example, if you only have like a 2K bankroll, you're going to have different advice if you have 20K bankroll, because ultimately it's also based on your experience level. If you've just started here, it's going to depend on how much money you make. Yeah, you go.
I like my kind of answer to that, or question to that question, is like, why? Like, that's sort of asking kind of like, why wouldn't you do the sports system or horse system? It's kind of like asking, oh, can I get bigger arms at the gym, but I'm not going to use dumbbells? Like, I don't know. It just,
he might have been asking that. He might, I'm not sure. I would say maybe he could be a member of both. He's just asking what else he can do on top of that. So yeah, I mean, you can take it the way you've interpreted it as well, for sure. I'm not sure. I haven't checked the email to confirm, but yeah, you're right. If you weren't in horse and sport, for sure, that is something like, cool, do that first. And then if he's already in horse and sport, then obviously take advantage of, he's doing both. He said, I'm doing both. He's just saying what he'd recommend to complement. Yeah, I mean, for me personally, Sam, I'd be saying to absolutely milk that bookie list dry of all 105 bookies. And as I said before, once you start opening up these bookies, you'll start to see more deposit offers start to get sent to your text and emails. You'd be surprised, some of these smaller bookies, how hard they go at chasing you up when the account ends up losing. And again, we don't want to focus on losing accounts, but they can and do get to the point where some of these accounts are going to end up losing just because the way the cookie crumbles, the way everything falls, sort of thing. That's going to happen, and you're going to get deposit. Then you can start doing extra promos on other bookies. You can do the horse promo method. You can do things like that. So there's always opportunity. And once you start compounding, you can take advantage of like the avoiding stat deck add-on, obviously building up your unit size that way. Once you've got enough bankroll with that, and slowly start to introduce your, I guess, mind to the ceiling, the ever-growing ceiling of match betting, which is really cool. So good question. Travis wants to know, are you match betting every day? He's been limiting himself to just Saturdays and Wednesdays and the sports system. Obviously, you're doing a bit more than just an average platinum member, but what's your week look like?
Well, I said I work 9 to 5, but kind of place bets throughout the day when I can. Also, like, follow a few things through the mentorship to help make more money, but like overnight time I'll do some other stuff, or like nothing. I'm not sitting down for hours and hours, but
Would you say you do more time now or less time than when you were just platinum horse sport, or same?
I'll say maybe a tad more, just because I've learned more ways to make money. So
What's your time now you reckon you're spending per week on it?
um,
Obviously varies per week, but like what's an average?
maybe 15 to 20, maybe. Probably 15.
And what's that look like? Saturday being what, full
Well,
session
Saturday
or
all
what?
day. Yeah, like now my mate and I are doing it all Saturday, which is so fun. And then you know, 10 half hour, 40 minutes throughout the week every now and then.
Nice. Yeah, cool. Does that answer your question, Travis? Anyone else have any more questions before we send the great Q man off? Does anyone heard mine? Did I say your name right? I'm curious. Tom
You got the Europe JP.
Yeah, I've been like 14 times. My missus always rinses me for saying that. It's like an inside joke. Because on one of the videos I did for an old Hustler video, it was like a website one. She used to be like, "Oh, I went to Europe 14 times," because I said that in the video. But yeah, it's just an inside joke.
Gotta be Romeo Tempo. Why am I Romeo?
Because you're giving dating advice, spicing it up.
Oh, okay.
Come on, mate. You gotta be faster than that if you want to work in the HQ. No, good work, Michael. Elite stuff. Tom says he's excited to see where your future holds. I am too. I think you're a lion in a cage waiting to get released, but you might not even know that yet.
Oh,
It's going to be funny to see what happens December 19. Got your ACOM sorted for Melbourne yet, or haven't got a place?
Yeah, staying with a friend for a bit.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Good work. I got the name right. That's a fill up. Fuck you, Tom. All right, we'll leave it there. If anyone has any more questions, you obviously should have asked them, but I hope everyone got some inspiration off this webinar. And honestly, it's nice to be able to say this from someone else says it for us, not us always ranting and raving. So I hope QTempo has inspired and motivated a lot of you and given you a bit of a goal or a pathway that you can mimic and work towards. Just knowing that younger people or older people or whatever are doing this and they're not geniuses, they're not crazy smart, they're just doing reps and applying the same things that we preach over and over again, taking the opportunities that are out there, not waiting around for shit to happen, making it happen. And ultimately you create your own destiny from the actions and decisions that you make. So good work, everyone. Thank you for joining. We'll see you all next week for webinar number 18. This has been number 17. Thank you very much. Thank you, Q, for coming on. Go get your rig out, go to the beach, and don't give out any dating advice anymore. See you later.
Sorry. Thanks.
All good. Take care. Thanks for coming on. Awesome.